Hello, everyone. I am Kashif Kamran, and just to share my best wishes with all my AA students appearing for ACCA September 2024 exams tomorrow. Now, I just want to share some last moment advices which could be helpful to you tomorrow. Now, first of all, definitely you all are aware that there are two sections in the paper, A and B, and each contributes to your success and each has a time zone in which it should be completed. A lot of time, the students tends to rush in section A, compromising on its quality, and they are in hurry in section A, and they're not putting the right time or right focus, which they should be putting on the OTQs. You have 54 minutes with you for section A, which is a good enough time because you have a total of 15 OT questions. Now, if you look at 54 minutes and you look at 15 OT questions and you divide it, you have a good enough time per OT question to spend on. You should read the case given to you for every OT question, the OT case. Try to ensure you are ticking the right option. Double think before you tick in the option. If you don't know an OT question, don't just keep glaring on it and wasting your time. Just flag it and come to it at the end of the exam. Keep some time, 5 to 10 minutes, and just come back to it and just ensure you do the best for that particular OTQ where you are not very sure of the answer. So 54 minutes you have to do your best for the section A. Then the section B, 70 marks, and you have 126 minutes for that. You know the typical questions, the typical requirements which comes in section B, and you must have prepared yourself very well on each of those requirements. If you have done like 6 to 7 recent past papers, you must be pretty sure of the types of questions which comes in section B, and it's very organized section. You know there is a question around audit risk and responses. A question around internal controls could be the weaknesses in the internal control systems and recommendation, test of controls or key controls or direct controls. Those sort of things comes from the internal control side. Then you have questions around substantive procedures. And then finally, you have some sort of a reporting implications around an accounting issue, which is given to you by the examiner. Yes, we do saw in the March-June 24 paper something around quality management and quality management weaknesses. So that's a potential area which could not be ruled out from even the September 24 exams, that are more testing around quality management from the ISA 220 revised could come into the September 24 exam. So please just ensure you are very well versed with that topic as well. Now, just would like to spend a minute each on each of the topics, starting first with audit risk. You know, the underlying fundamentals of writing a good answer around audit risk. The focus is on risk. So when you're trying to write your answer, you should identify the underlying risk. You should identify what the management has done wrong or may do wrong. For example, is it something which is wrongly recognized, or is it something which is wrongly classified, something which has not been disclosed or inappropriately disclosed, something wrongly valued? Because these sort of things are important when you are justifying the risk. So when there is a risk, there is an impact. The impact is something being understated or overstated in the financial statement. Now, these two particular things are crucial. A risk, identifying the underlying risk, what is being done wrong by the management or what may go wrong, and what is the impact of that on the financial statements. That is important. Along with that, you need to write in the accounting treatments, because a lot of risks are around accounting issues. So having sound accounting knowledge from your financial reporting paper and mentioning the accounting treatment or identifying what is wrong in the accounting treatment adopted by the management or what may go wrong in that particular accounting treatment is important. Where possible, just to comment on the materiality, if any number is given to you and you know the thresholds of materiality or some sort of materiality relevance is there in the context of the case in AA paper, just to try to comment on that. But that's something rarely in the AA paper. It's more about the treatment. It's It's more about the risk and the impact, what you do in the AA paper for around risk. Then comes the response. The response have to be very specific to the risk, a response which could mitigate the risk you have identified. But more importantly, a lot of time the students start a response with the word check, or they start a response with obtain, or they start response with ensure. These are not proper words to start responses with. The examining team is not happy with such statements: ensure, check, or obtain. You should start with very specific action verbs like review, discuss, inquire, recalculate, observe, reperform, which shows exactly what the auditor will do when he starts the audit to mitigate the risk you have already identified. So be very specific. It's more like writing a substantive procedure. Then about the internal controls, weaknesses, it's very important that you explain the implication of the weakness to the given organization. A lot of times the student miss the implication part. When you're explaining the key controls or direct control, you should justify why it is a key control or why it is a direct control that is important. When again you are explaining the test of control, it should start with a very visible action like observe or inquire or review or reperform, something like that. There has to be a visible test at the start of your statement, which is important. Then more importantly, we have questions around substantive procedures, which are very regular, very common in the AA paper. You know, there are shorter case studies given. You need to extract substantive procedures from them for 4 marks or 5 marks. Substantive procedures, you need to read the case very well. You need to see what's exactly happening in the case and what the auditor will do. You need to ask a question to yourself that within this case given to me of like 3 to 4 sentences, like a share capital or a director bonus, what will I do? What procedures will I make on director bonus in terms of the given information? So that is very important because to me, a substantive procedure is to be extracted from the case. Read every sentence where there is a full stop there and ask a question: what will I do as an auditor? What should I do to verify it? A procedure starts from an action verb like review, discuss, inquire, recalculate, something like that. A procedure should have a purpose to confirm something, to ensure something. A procedure without a purpose is like 0.5 marks, not 1 marks. Even there is a subject matter of a procedure like recalculate, then you need to tell what are you recalculating, or you're discussing, then you need to discuss with whom. If you are inspecting something, what are you inspecting? So there has to be a subject matter with the action. So I normally tell my my students, CASP, case specific, action, subject matter, and purpose. CASP is what make a good procedure. Then obviously the reporting implications. There must be an accounting issue in a reporting side. You need to elaborate upon the issue. What is the issue? What wrong the management has done with that accounting issue? Have they done the wrong accounting treatment? What is the related understatement and overstatement with that accounting issue? Just like you write an audit risk answer. So the accounting implication, what is under and overstated, and because of that, what opinion will the auditor give? Qualified or adverse? You need to find the materiality. You need to be sound on the calculation of materiality, and then concluding the type of opinion the auditor will be giving. Subsequent events, going concerns. Again, these are areas which could not, which are equally important. Quality management, I just emphasized on that, is an important area. Recently, we saw that in March, June 24 exams. So please ensure you have a holistic analysis of the paper very well in this last few hours before you enter the exam scenario, and be ensure that at the end of the day, whatever exam preparation you have done, what counts the most is exam intelligence, sensible exam techniques tomorrow. You're prepared very well, but you enter the exam hall, you saw the paper, and you got panic, or you studied late into night. You get to the exam hall, you were not very fresh. That's a disastrous situation. You need to be calm, composed. Your mind should be active, working well. You had a good night's sleep. You're very well prepared. You're taking the right decisions for time management or flagging any question or any requirement you don't know and coming back to it later. Not spoiling your exam setting for something you don't know, rather looking at the opportunities, grabbing the opportunities, and maximizing your marks, reaching the 50 barrier as soon as possible. So, exam intelligence, sensible exam techniques will play a more crucial part tomorrow. Um, and I wish you all the very best of luck for your exams tomorrow. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from this last moment advice. Take care, goodbye, and Allah Hafiz.